So this is a Sub-Zero update. He's getting big, huh, buddy? He's getting big, huh?
He probably would have given better competition today to Swiatek.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
You think Sub-Zero could have outdone?
Yeah,
Coco
he would have like bitten her. A few games, right? Sub-Zero. He would have intimidated her. Yeah.
All right. Well, he's getting big. He is.
Yes. You think somebody would Coco Gauff?
He's soon to be 7 months. All right.
He's too big.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Sub-Zero.
Hello.
Bye, buddy. Man, he's gotten heavy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you ready to go?
Yeah.
Let's lock in. All right, hello and welcome back to another 5K tennis discussion. Today is Saturday, June the 4th, 2022. And as you all know, there was a really quick match today. I think it went all of about an hour and 4 minutes, give or take.
Yeah, it felt like it was super quick. Yeah.
Very quick. And we're going to talk about a couple various topics today, by the way. But real quickly to start out, I wanted to give a couple of shout outs. All right. So we always like to start every day with a shout out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read a comment from someone that sent a couple of questions to us last night. Hold on. I thought I was better prepared for this comment. But let me go back to it. So I'm going to read a comment from, hold on. Okay, here we go. A comment from Leandro Franza Haas. Leandro Franza Haas. This was 10 hours ago. Here we go. Leandro says this. I have a few takes and questions on last night's show. I mean, he watched the show yesterday and he typed this afterwards. Number one, Rafa Nadal said in the press conference that the humidity was extremely high, partially due to the roof being closed, and the balls were soaking up. Because of that, and the dampened clay, they couldn't hit past each other. That's why the game was weird and extremely long. What's your take on that? Two, Holger Rune is a gifted young kid with a terrible attitude. He lost any respect I have for his game because of that. How do you feel the other players on tour will handle his bullshit from now on? Three, regarding Amelie Mauresmo's answer to the journalist, these reporters claim they want sports figures to be honest and sincere, but only praise those who give those same sanitized answers to every controversial topic. I happen to agree with her answer. Right now, men's tennis attracts more interest from fans. These people seem to hate the sport they claim to watch because all they do is bitch about stuff and they find problematic instead of praising the good things. With that, attract more interest and money to women's tennis. We have one of the most balanced sports in the world between what women and men get paid, and still these vultures seem to always complain. Hugs and kisses from Brazil. Okay.
Brasileiro.
Yeah. Number one, the dampening of the balls. I do know that Rafa Nadal was talking about he didn't want the balls in his pocket too long because he was so sweaty. He didn't want the balls to soak up water. Now, Carlo, we live in a very humid area. What happens when we keep the balls in our pockets?
Oh yeah, it gets really wet. Yeah, I agree. You don't want to even, and they become heavy. Yeah. Alex VR, great comment. Iga's only on 4 serves for trophy ceremony speech. Laugh out loud. Yeah, I cringed at her speech. I thought it was, and maybe it's her accent or something, or you know what it is with her, that she rushes her speech. Like she needs to slow down when she talks, because I'm sure, anyone that learns their first language, I'm sure is Polish for her. So her second language is English, I'm guessing. You're translating it in your head. So she really speaks it fast, so it's hard to understand what she's saying. And it's really hard to connect with her. Drum Tennis says Mauresmo should smack them with her racket. Laugh out loud. I agree with Mauresmo said. I'm sorry. Justin doesn't, but I totally agree. To me, this was one of the worst finals I've seen in a long time. I told Justin Swiatek looked like she was a Division I player in college, and Coco Gauff looked like she was a Division III player in college.
I think the disparity was greater. Look, Swiatek, and we're going to get into this a lot more, but Swiatek right now is the best on tour by leaps and bounds. But is she one of the best we've ever seen? Oh, well, maybe, okay, you can put her on the list, but
She's good, but she's definitely not one of the best.
So I think there's a disparity between her and the rest of the pack. So the first thing that I wanted to bring out as another shout out, and this came from B-Dog, Bobby Harris out there. And Bobby Harris, much love, my brother, wonderful gentleman. But let me read you a comment he wrote on Iga Swiatek as well today. And it's just short and it's brief. So Bobby, or B-Dog, says this: Iga, since Serena, is the only female player that actually sets up her shots and shoots to the open court. Most just hit the ball and wait until the other misses. She has a lot of room to grow. She'll be number one for a while. Is there, we look back in the past.
No, it's definitely not Iga's fault that her opponents are weak. It's just sad. It's just sad. For me, it's sad to see women's tennis at that stage. The coaches have just been teaching the girls to just hit the ball and not think out there. Look at Coco Gauff, the double faults, the hitting off the back foot a lot. I said this again I was hoping that she would win, but I knew it would be tough. Hitting off your back foot means you're late on your shots. Also, your opponent put a lot of pressure on you, so therefore you're hitting your shots off your back foot. She wasn't penetrating through her shot like Iga was. Iga was hitting her forehands and stepping into them. That was the difference, stepping into her backhand. She was dictating everything. Whereas Coco Gauff was more like waiting for a mistake. That just was not going to happen. You watch Iga hit her forehand, move her side to side, come in when she had to, and volley. Even though the volleys are not great, they work because she was stepping into the court. Yeah, there's so much work. I've said this before. To me, Coco Gauff is not a top 10 player at all. She still has a lot of work to do. I just thought it was a weak women's tour. And that's why she got there. That she got there because it was a weak tournament. That's just it. I felt like I really was watching a D1 player go against a D3 player, and that's a big difference in UTR. UTR would be like an 8, 9 UTR girl
to about a 13
to
or
a 3
12 or 13.
UTR. Yeah. That's a big difference.
Yeah.
It's just not good. She needs to get rid of Daddy as a coach. That's great that Mommy and Daddy want to hang out there, but clearly they're not. They don't have the knowledge to get her to the next game. Because that could be her only final. We always say, oh, there's future. She did good. She got to the final. Time passes, and then we'll forget about that final. And then the other thing I didn't like is that NBC, when they put it on, they were like praising Coco Gauff so much. They put an African-American girl that I had never seen talk about the wrecker, Serena, and all that. First of all, I've never seen this girl before. They blew it up so much, and she just got blown off the court.
Now, oddly enough, you mentioned blowing off the court. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Coco Gauff was up 2-0 in the second set. And Swiatek almost pulled a mid-match bagel, meaning she almost rolled off 6 straight games in the middle of a match. Gauff was up 2-0 second set. Okay, we might have a little match developing here, and then boom, Swiatek rolls off that set pretty quickly to 5-2, and it ended up being 6-3. Swiatek dominated the first set. Now, you could say that Coco Gauff was nervous.
She was nervous in the first game.
Understandably so. Now, Carl, I do disagree with you a bit, and maybe I misunderstood you, but if you don't think that Coco Gauff's a top 20 player, you're definitely wrong.
She's not a top 10 player.
Who, Coco Gauff?
Yeah.
I think she definitely is a top 10 player.
No, I don't think
so. Can you poll question that? It's an objective group. Can you put there, do you think Coco Gauff is a top 10 player? Just type it. And let's let the audience vote, because I think she is. And by the way, correct me if I'm wrong, but I do think that Coco Gauff is number 9 in the world now.
Well, then it's a weak 9.
She's either number 9 or maybe even number 8. I think
she's 13 right now. They said.
Okay, I think she moves up after the tournament though.
I'm not saying
she's in the top 10.
Justin, I want to see you improve, but it's the same mistake, the same stupid double faults like I watch my daughter do. Like I'm watching a teenager double fault, double fault, double fault, double fault, double fault. Eventually, you can't serve like Osaka. First serve hard, second serve hard. Eventually, you got to tell yourself, hello, kick serve. Anybody? Learn how to spin it in.
Variety.
Don't just go for it all the time.
Hit spots.
Hello.
Open the court up.
Stop hitting off your back foot on the forehand.
Okay, right now the poll says 60% of you say that Coco Gauff is a top 10 player. So right now, 60%. So again, I think at this point in time, as you were just saying, the field is weak. We 50, say
now is at 50%.
Okay, so it's 50-50 now. So can you list some other players that are better than her that are in the top 10? Is Mendoza better? Is Sakari better?
No, Sakari is like 20 to me. I feel
exactly.
like, look,
so
I feel like someone
give
like,
me some players.
I feel like someone like Muhova should be. That is the type of player I'm talking. The field is weak right now, but the top 10 players back in the day were really tough. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 was a strong field.
Sabatini, Graf.
No, I'm not even talking about that era. I'm talking about the 2000s, even 2010, 2011, 2012. It was strong. Now it's just weak. Sabalenka should be like 30.
Give me some other players in this hypothetical top 10 that you're talking about. If Coco Gauff is not top 10. Who is the top 10 then? Sakari, Badosa.
Sakari, is she 10?
Badosa's like in the top 5. I mean, Badosa's in the top 3, isn't she? So Coco Gauff is worse than her.
Here it is.
You're losing me here, Carla.
I'm saying that this is a weak field.
Okay, but she deserves to be in what we got.
Swiatek's number 1. Krejcikova, I feel like when she's on, she's definitely a top 10 player. She's number 2 in the world. Sakari should be like 30 in the world. Badosa, okay, 10 to 20. Kontaveit, she hasn't even played. Why is she even number 5 in the world? Jabeur, solid, has the variety.
Getting in better shape.
Definitely. Sabalenka, hell no, should be like 30.
Yeah.
Pliskova, why is she even number 7 in the world? Danielle Collins, yeah, should be 20. Muguruza should be like 20 in the world. Pagula, hell no, 30 in the world. Raducanu should be like 100.
Who?
Should be 100 something in the world. Ostapenko should be like 200 something in the world. Bencic maybe 15. Azarenka, okay. Rybakina.
So you would right now you would take Victoria Azarenka over any of the players that you just mentioned because
of experience.
You just read every name and you were like,
Halep,
her, okay. But then you got to Victoria Azarenka and you were like, oh, okay. So in other words, you gave her a pass and everyone else would get lost.
Azarenka was a champion. She played in that era.
But we're talking about the now.
This is weak. Maresmo said it. There's a reason why the women's tennis sucks. It's very weak. If you look at these names, you don't think dominance. You don't think dominance at all.
All right, let's check out for a second. Swiatek's road to the final. Okay, we did this by hand. Big things. Let's go. Okay, so let's look at Swiatek's road to the final. First round, she played Serenko. Okay, the Ukrainian. And by the way, we're not going to venture into this. Carla, myself, and I'm sure a lot of you totally disagree with involving geopolitics and isms and other beliefs with sports. Like, if you're a quarterback and you have an issue at home with child support, I don't want to care. I don't want to hear about it, right? After Swiatek won the tournament, in her post-match interview, she delved off into geopolitics a bit. I'm not going to get into it here, but I really wish we could leave that out of tennis. I mean, look.
What did she say?
We won't get into it. We brought it. It was brought up, and I'll leave it at this. Wimbledon is wrong for not allowing the likes of Medvedev or Azarenka or any other Russian or Belarusian to play, and we won't get into it, but I wish at some point in time we could leave that stuff alone and just let people play tennis and let it be the international language that it is, and let us all hang out together, break bread together, play together, whatever it is. But tennis it's a nucleus. It's a nucleus of energy. And, even tennis players that you meet on the court, and you have an opportunity to play with them, and then you see their court conduct and their, like the proverbial 45-year-old dude breaking rackets and acting like a dickhead. But at the same time, if you fast forward after those type of meetings, you still look back on them as what? A tennis player. You still have respect for them, no matter how much of a buffoon they act like. Anyway, there is no real reason to intertwine the both. From stuff like Ukraine and wars, it should be left separate because it's an international language and we don't need to separate that. All right. Anyway, Swiatek's road to the final. She beat Serenko in the first round. Second round, she played the mighty screeching Allison Riss, the American player, who is arguably one of the best screechers of all time.
Terrible match.
One of the best screechers of all time, though. Azarenka got nothing on Riss. Schiavone has nothing on Riss. Hideous grunt, ridiculous. Then Swiatek plays a solid Kavinic. Kavinic is a good player.
Gave her a better match than Coco there.
Yes, good player. Then she pops up and loses the first set to Zhang, who ended up having menstrual cramps.
She gave her a way better match than Coco, and she's not 13 in the world.
Yes, and Zhang was one of the reasons why we have talked about women playing 3 out of 5 sets versus 2 out of 3. Zhang was a consummate event that exemplified the reason why you can't do this. The female body, again, Carla and I have 5 children, and you know, she is still in really in good shape and getting in better shape. Sometimes I get lost when I see you because you're just bewildering me with your awesomeness. But there are certain times where you can't control that your body is fixing to go through a change. You're going to lose fluids. You're going to lose bodily fluids, blood, whatever. Your energy gets zapped, and
you're in pain. Your body, your hormones are up and down.
Yeah. So, you know, God bless all you ladies for sure. And by the way, speaking about ladies, Sister the Queen. And I just thought about that when I was thinking, lady, Sister the Queen is a 5K family for sure. And she's a fellow poet, and she sent a message.
I read it yesterday.
She sent a message.
Is this yesterday?
No, it was like yesterday.
Yeah,
I have it right here.
I read that.
Oh, you read it on the show?
Yeah, I did yesterday.
She was catching up on everything?
Yeah, I read it.
Okay, I won't waste your time then. Yeah. Sister the Queen, what's up? I didn't realize it.
It was good. And she said Rafa was not playing well, and still.
Yeah, she's in California. Home.
And guys, you're going to get the same men's final. It'll be the same thing.
I called that men's final.
Yeah, but it's going to be the same thing.
Okay.
It's going to be the same thing. Don't expect anything better than today.
So Swiatek proceeds through Zhang and then faces off against the billionaire's daughter, Pegula. The better player won, so Swiatek moves forward and then faces Kazatkina, who is like Carla Jr. Carla Jr. And then Swiatek cruises in to the final.
This is great knowledge from Willie Spencer. Iga's opponent rankings to win the French Open: 119 in the world, 43, 95, 74, 11, 20, and 23. Raducanu to win her U.S. Open was 128, 49, 41, 43, 12, 18, and 73.
Wow.
And that's why the women's tennis right now is just bullshit.
Fact of the day right there. William Spencer, once again, is one of our major winners. He's a good statistician.
No top player faced Iga. They lost before that. Pegula definitely.
This got 1,000.
He definitely shouldn't. She should not be in the top 10. No way. No, it was not the hardest draw. It was a tough. To me, it was a tough women's. It was tough to watch the women. I think the only match that probably I enjoy was the one with Muhova and Anisimova.
I enjoyed that one too.
But then she got hurt and something with the ankle and then her leg, and she couldn't keep playing. I think that was personally to me, that was the best match to watch in the women's side. I can't think of a better match in the women's side to watch.
There was a couple of good ones, I think.
Let me
check it out. Call it. That's a great topic in itself.
I thought that was the best match.
What was the best match of the tournament? It definitely wasn't the final today.
No, it was Anisimova and Muhova.
Great match, yeah.
That was a really good match.
It was another blockbuster match. Some early round, first, second round matches were stellar.
I thought Jacquemin and Kerber was decent.
Yeah. Wasn't there a great Andreescu match in there?
Andreescu? No, Andreescu played like shit against Benchik.
But what was her first and second round matches?
Her first round was against Bonaventure, and that was not good. And then Benchik.
Okay.
I mean, to me, that was the best matches out of the women's was that. I didn't see any other one that I can say, wow, I really wanted to watch that. I really want to watch that again. Nope.
It was just way too fast. You know, the crowd gets all set for a final, and then you go in there. And, you know, you sit down, you get your drink, or you get chilled out, you're taking pictures with your family or whatever, and then all of a sudden it's like boom, 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 done. It's over. It's like,
Carol, I'm guessing you're Polish.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was just really, really
Leila Benchik, okay.
He says
Osaka, yeah, that was decent.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was decent, but the men's was way better.
So now let's flip to the other side, even though she lost, and I know a lot of people don't remember second place. But let's look at Coco Gauff's draw moving through the rounds. She played Rebecca Marino. I wasn't familiar with her before the tournament. Then beat the Belgian girl Van Uytvanck. Then took out Kaya Kanepi. And then Elise Mertens. And then Sloane Stephens. And then Trevisan, one of the worst squealers on tour as well. and then had to face Swiatek.
That wasn't her best.
So Gauff had a pretty solid draw in comparison to. And look, there's an old saying that some people say the draw is padded or whatever.
No, it doesn't matter who you play. It just shows you
there's no such thing as an easy draw.
It just shows you that the women's field, a lot of the top 10 players or top 20 are really not top 10. That's my point. They're not. They shouldn't even have a ranking. They're not.
Can you give me a current? I know we can't sit back and name names, but let's look at the girls in the world right now. And I'll write it down. You name off 5 people that you would put in your top 10, just 5 of 10.
Right now?
Right now. Who would you put?
Osaka.
Okay, hold on. Let me put Osaka. Okay. Who's
Andreescu.
Okay, Andreescu. Okay.
Definitely Muhova.
Okay.
Anisimova.
Iga,
obviously.
Swiatek. Give me another.
That's a
Jabeur. Okay. Right.
I think that Leylah Fernandez can be in there.
Okay, put her in under 10.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's good enough. You already exceeded your list. I only wanted 5. Carla just rolled off 7. So this would be Carla's in no particular order. Her proverbial top 10 if all the cards fell in the voting hands. In no particular order. Naomi Osaka.
Well, Serena's not playing, so I can't put her in there.
Yeah, look.
Serena's like retired.
We have a whole topic about Serena in a moment because Venus and Serena were left off the application or entry list for Wimbledon. But does it really matter? Anyway, we have a whole topic about that.
I would put Azarenka in there too.
Okay, Azarenka. You're adding a number 8. You balled out on that one, man. I just wanted a couple, and I thought you would have trouble. She's rolling out some freaking bombs.
Definitely not Mugu. She's lost too much. Halep.
And that's possible experience, though. Who said Muguruza?
Furzy.
Good.
Halep.
You could put her in there. You could put those 2 to close out the top 10.
My 10.
We'll close out those 10. Okay, and Halep. That's 2 good answers. Okay. Here is the 5K tennis and
oh no, he said Kerber, Mugu, Kvitova, Halep, Serena.
Okay, we'll have an alternate list. Kerber, that's another good one. Kerber's on the alternate list.
No, but they're out. They're out. This is what he said.
Okay,
they're almost out.
Here would be.
Kenin is coming back. She's still. Yeah, but I never believed in Kenin anyway, so I never liked her.
She's got to get dad problems.
That's awesome. Alex Rios is a guy from El Salvador, Marcelos Arevalo, won the men's doubles title. That's awesome because only the rich play in Central America. How I know this is that I've gone to Honduras to go play tennis, and my dad had to ask someone at the country club in Honduras, and they looked at him like we were stupid. Well, once they saw us playing, they changed their mind. And 2, I've been to Belize, and I tried to play tennis. And I've asked people where rich houses, and they wouldn't let me. I had to go to a resort to go play tennis. Only the rich, and I repeat, only the rich play the sport. There is no way you come from the hood in those countries. You come from money in those countries to play.
By the way, the poll question statistics are still adding up over here. Currently, all the votes at this point indicate that it's 50% think that Coco Gauff is a top 10 player and 50% do not think.
Thank you. I think that she can be. I'm saying right now she's not. I think to me, top 10, I'm saying from what I've seen in my lifetime, top 10 can usually serve. Their serving percentage is high. They can dictate points. They're not hitting off their back foot, and their consistency is unbelievable.
Good point.
I'm sorry. That to me is top 10. That's like you telling me the difference between a 4.5 player, NTRP, and a 3.0 is a huge difference.
Yep.
So, yeah.
It's a great statement. Couldn't have said any better.
And once again, Swiatek beats another American. She beat Kenin 2 years ago, and now she beats Gauff. I think Kenin gave her a bit more fight than Gauff did.
A little bit more attitude.
Yeah.
And I think that comes with, sometimes being a little bit older, just a little bit, because Kenin wasn't terribly much older. A couple years.
Kenin's like 22 now.
Yeah, she's still very young. The problem, again, we've talked about this a ton. The problem with Kenin, she sometimes has a sportsmanship issue. She gets flustered. She chunks her racket on the ground, and sometimes she just loses her thought process. And a lot of that has to do with some of the parents being involved in coaching as well. We've talked about this with so many players. Kenin's one of them. So would you agree or disagree with Carla and a lot of you that pitched in for these names really quickly? Would you say that I'm going to read off 10 players that you all and Carla just named, and they're all still active players right now. would you agree more with the current WTA rankings? And I'll read those really quick.
Oh, I have.
Okay, the WTA rankings.
Yeah.
Read the WTA rankings starting from number 1 to 10. And
this
you don't
is before the tournament. Iga 1.
Iga
2. Krejcikova. And you know what? Take out Muguruza because I'd rather have Krejcikova in there.
Okay, fair enough. It's a good sub.
Okay.
Okay.
Sakari. Papados's is 4, Kontaveit 5, Jabeur is 6, Sabalenka 7, Pliskova is 8, Collins is 9, and Muguruza is 10.
Okay. Good list. Fair enough. Now I'm going to read off once again the list that you all and Carla just concocted of current active players that you all think should be that actual top 10. Number 1, in no particular order, Naomi Osaka, Bianca Andreescu, Mukova, Anisimova, Swiatek, Ons Jabeur, Leylah Fernandez, Vika or Victoria Azarenka, Barbara Krejcikova, Simona Halep, and a substitute of Angelique Kerber.
No, I would never put Kerber in there, but okay.
Well, she was a sub because you told me to take it out. But do you think that's would you rather have that list of top 10 players no matter what they're ranked because of whatever reason, or would you rather have the list that is current and?
Yeah, it's gonna change. They said Krejcikova will be 15 after this, and Pegula would be 9. Pegula man came in.
Okay, well, but you get what I'm saying. Which list would you have? If you had to go into,
I think if I had to create a team, I would create my team. I would even take out Halep and put Serena there. That's retired. So I could win.
If you had to go okay, here's a question. Answer this. Put 1s in the chat for yes and 2s in the chat for no. If you had to go into a battle and your life depended on it, and you could take a team of 10 women, okay? If I had to take the current top 10 that's on paper, like the real the WTA rankings, okay? If I had to take them into a Fed Cup-like tournament in which my life depended on winning and losing, or I could take this list of these women and go into that same tournament knowing if I don't win that team tournament, I'm going to lose my life. Which one do you take? Do you take the current top 10, Badosa and Pegula and blah, 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 or do you take this one with the likes of Osaka, Andreescu, Muhova, Anisimova, Swiatek, Ons Jabeur, Leylah Fernandez, Azarenka, Krejcikova, Halep, Kerber as a sub, and Muguruza as a sub?
Maresmo said weak top 10 versus 5 years ago and super weak versus 2000. She's right.
Yep.
She said it right. It was hard to win a slam back then.
The problem with Amelie Maresmo saying that is because she's the tournament director of Roland Garros.
Man, the president could say dumbass shit.
I mean, I agree. No, you're good. Come on, man. I agree. But again, when you're the tournament director of a major, that's like me directing the Masters, and I go off talking about racism or something. I mean, it's just I get it, but at a major, it's she could have done it.
If my life depended on WTA players winning to save my life, I think I'd just shoot myself and save myself the pain of watching. Tomas says, okay, I get your list. Please check who both list players lost in Paris. What rank, like number 2, Krejcikova lost to a wild card.
Let's look it up.
The number 2 player, we know what happened. First of all, Krejcikova didn't, she hadn't played any matches. She had been injured and she got COVID. Who knows if she had COVID while she was playing, but of course, COVID is no longer exists. Now it's monkeypox.
Yeah, you heard about this, a monkeypox thing?
Yeah.
We got monkeypox now.
The top 10 is weak right now.
Yeah, so again, if it were me and I had to take a platoon of...
Kontaveit doesn't even play. Badosa, you guys just like her because she's pretty.
No, she's more than that. I'm
talking about them. She's a good player, but she is not. She's not great. She's a good player, like Dominika Sivakova was a good player.
Fair enough.
Just saying, that's the type of player she is. It's just that she's better now because the WTA is weaker now. So we see her in the top 10. Once upon a time, Sivakova could have done the same thing, but she kept getting bumped down, go up, bumped down because it was tough.
Sivakova had a height disadvantage too. She was very short.
Yeah.
So Sivakova, fine player, spunky attitude, a hell of an athlete, built like you but shorter. Sivakova is kind of built like Carla. Do you know who else is built like Carla? Is
I'm built like myself.
Sabine Lisicki.
Like
you guys remember Sabine Lisicki?
I'm built like myself, man.
Let's go, Sabine Lisicki fans. Let's go. Come on, Sabine Lisicki fans. Woo, she's smoking like a damn.
Anyway, so 56% say no, Coco Gauff is not a top 10 player.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You guys are voting the vote, and now Carla would be winning this debate because as of now, 58% of you with a lot of votes have indicated that no, Coco Gauff is not a top 10 player.
She's not.
Interesting. I thought it would go the other way. Very, very interesting. By the way, Coco Gauff, this is a factoid. Coco Gauff is the youngest American since Serena Williams to have made it to a major final.
Didn't help her. She obviously didn't call Serena.
Now,
she was in tears. Did I feel bad for her? Not really. Just because, I mean, the better player won. The better player should have won, you know?
Yeah.
It's not like she lost a tight match. She got schooled.
She got taken to lunch.
Yeah.
And served breakfast and dinner all in the same meal. Okay. Coco Gauff had some tears afterwards, and you knew.
I didn't feel bad for her though.
Well, I didn't feel bad for her, but
the reason why is
you're reminded that she's very young.
She's young. The better player won. Alex Rios says, "How do you think Iga will do in grass?" I don't know. We'll find out, right?
I think she'll just be.
She should have fine.
I think she'll be like Nadal.
If she's hitting off, if she's not letting that ball, you know, she should be fine. I don't know.
Do you think that? Okay, this finish my train of thought. How do I think she does at Wimbledon? I think she does splendid, based upon her level of play above everyone else. I don't think it matters the surface at all. She has the psychology. She forgot how to lose. She's winning. She's toying with everyone. Now, the only kicker is can she stay healthy and not get some nagging injury?
Well, she's not big and bulky.
Not get burnout. Burnout's a bitch too.
She seems to enjoy it, Justin. I don't think she will. She seems to be very positive. Does she have a mom? Did her mom pass away or something? Because she thanked her dad, thanked her sister, but never thanked her mom. Thomas said, to be clear, I also think that current rankings is not relevant to a real quality of player. I mean, it's like USTA. You see these kids. I have a lot of parents on Facebook, and their kids number 2 and number 3 in the state. But really, it's just because you've been playing so many tournaments.
Your answer to that, Carl, is usually
it's bullshit. Who gives a shit? Like I see these parents put, my kid's going to this thing. He got selected. It's bullshit because I know the type of player they are. I just laugh.
Yeah, and they some of the places do such a good job of baiting you up to make you feel so special because your kid's going there. But ultimately, they're just taking your money.
You know when they're
and feeding balls, and you end up with the same deal you could have gotten a lot closer.
Yeah. This guy says, then again, okay, no, never mind. William Spencer says, Coco got served. Then bacon and eggs, good and proper.
That's right. That's right. I like that. Someone's thinking right there. It's my type of
comment.
Person
I said, if it were Serena Pliskova, move Pirapirova from 3 years, or she would lose.
That's right.
Yep. Yingha says Serena won't be able to play Wimbledon and would have been a contender. No way.
So after
Sabalenka would not have been a contender, man. Come on, stop.
Look, I used to think that Sabalenka would make a major final.
Stop.
I really.
Yinghao, come on, you're smarter than that. You're a Jurassic Park guy. You're way smarter than that.
So people that walk Jurassic Park.
I'm just saying, he writes really well. Come on, man. No.
Okay. There was kind of this odd thing that I came across, and maybe some of you actually saw it transpire. I did not. I just read an article about it after the fact. We taught lessons today until what, 1:30?
Not really. Or a little bit earlier. Yeah, around
1:30. Yeah. Matter of fact, I was so looking forward to this show. I was actually looking at my watch the whole time. So
I actually was bummed out that the final was like, honestly, I was like, damn.
All right. So after the match, Coco Gauff was asked a couple of questions. And one of the questions that was asked to her from a journalist was pretty good. And then another question was just kind of weird. So, and I read the article as that. So let me read to you the question and I say Coco Gauff. This is a question that a reporter asked Iga Swiatek. Okay, so the reporter says, and I quote, one technical question and one which is not. The technical is, what is your best shot? This is a reporter speaking to Iga Swiatek. Oh, so you can talk like she does? She got the role play down? So Osaka's like, yeah, then you got to wait. She sound like a chipmunk?
No, it's just, you don't understand.
Okay.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much to the crowd and everybody. I'm very happy that I won. I worked so hard. Yes, thank you to my team. Yes.
Good job.
I'm just saying.
A plus, bro.
That's what she said.
Get that. Let's go. Okay.
I mean, she worked hard. She deserves it. Definitely deserves it. She deserves to win.
Soldier.
I'm just saying.
Let's go.
She definitely deserves it. No, she won. I mean, I told my daughter, look, you have a pancake for him.
Oh no,
that is your forehand.
Wasn't it? Wait,
I said you are watching your forehand, Lily. Watch her, because if she can do it with her pancake forehand, so can you.
Okay, so now you just busted out a pancake forehand. Who was it? Wasn't it William Spencer the other day that was talking about eggs and bacon forehand?
I
or
said,
bacon
watch
and
her.
eggs forehand?
If she can make it work, and she's looking at me, you can make it work.
Is that because you grabbed the pot like a full Western?
Me too. Hey, I got my forehand. This is my forehand's like, here it is.
So you're with the full Western. Okay. So here, let me finish the question that Swiatek was asked. Okay. Okay. The reporter says, and I repeat, I quote, one technical question and one which is not. The technical one is, what is your best shot? Someone says it's the forehand. Someone says it's the return down the line backhand. What do you think? This is the first question. The second question is, outside of the court, when you go to a party, do you use makeup? Do you like to go elegant and smart and so on? Because many players we have seen in the past, they were staying hours in front of the mirror before going on court and using the makeup. And you seem to be very natural like this. Now, we've talked about on the show a couple of things, and one thing is and one thing is sometimes superstars in the making. Let's look at Anna Kournikova. Okay, Anna Kournikova was always a great player, but she became the calendar shoot girl. Who is another one? What's her name? The girl with the no butt now, Eugenie Bouchard. So she made a Wimbledon final, lest we not forget. And then she started getting on the posters and then the calendars, and all of a sudden she looks like a fudgesicle with no fudge on the top. She just likes the linguine noodle, like a flat stick. And you're like, damn, man, what the hell? So I think what the reporter is getting at is, are you the type person, now that you're getting superstardom, are you going to stand in front of the mirror and do calendar shoots and stick your butt in the mirror, wear a thong, and get views for it? Or are you going to continue to play tennis?
I think she'll continue to play tennis.
I think that's.
I don't think that she's going to. I don't think that Iga is going to let that. I think she's a. You can see it. She has her dad. She looks just like her dad, by the way. She looks like her dad, and she had her sister there. I don't think that Iga is going to let Instagram or first of all, I don't think she's marketable like those girls, so I don't think that she'll have that issue. I think she'll always concentrate in tennis, and I think that after winning 2, she's definitely going to want to win more, and good for her. And she's not my favorite player. There's something about her personality that just doesn't click for me. And I just don't enjoy watching her play. But like I told my daughter, watching her forehand is exactly what I've been trying to correct my daughter from doing. But I said, if it works for her, I guess it can work for anybody.
Yeah. So if there's any dads out there, or cousins or uncles that have nephews and nieces running around, Carla and I, hence the name 5K Tennis. We have 5 kids. That's where that comes from. And 2 of those 5 kids are daughters, and are right, or 2 middle kids are daughters. We've coached. You can come here, buddy. We've coached for 13 years together, approximating, and we've been around the game our whole lives before we knew one another. And how many times, Carla, have we seen young aspiring players get the best of opportunities? And what they do is they end up, showing their butts, and they end up focused on how they look and what gear they have, and they end up falling off, and they lose so much time on self-indulgence. They forget that they have to work their ass off. What we tell our kids is, if you don't work your ass off, guess what? Someone else will. Now, by the way, this is Justin here. He usually pops in every once in a while. So this is our youngest of 5. This is JD2. So JD2, one quick question for you, all right? Right? You just saw the trailer to Jurassic World 3. Okay, he likes dinos, namely the T-Rex. And what other dinosaur? Is it just the T-Rex that you like? Is that it? Do you like any other dinos? What one? Give me another one. Can you name one? What? Spino. He likes the Spinosaurus. Yin Hao Core likes the Spinosaurus. Did I get you a Spinosaurus for your last birthday? No, Christmas. Wasn't it Christmas? Okay, give me another one. You like T-Rex. You like the Spinosaurus. An Allosaurus? Okay, you gotta look up there. You gotta look up here. Don't worry, but there's no one there. It's just a wall. Okay. So do you like an Allosaurus? Okay, so you like a Spinosaurus, a T-Rex, and a Spinosaurus. Allosaurus, T-Rex, Spinosaurus. Give me one more. A mosasaurus. That's like the one that's like a fish, right? Swims in the water. Okay. Anyway, he's a good tennis player, by the way. Are you jumping down? All right. Thank you for jumping
Alex,
in,
I think Emma will do she'll probably get into the second week just because she'll have the crowd behind her. I think that Wimbledon will give her a better draw.
But who's going to hit through her? Who's going to push Swiatek around just because the surface changes?
Yeah, we know Kasatkina. I know Kasatkina is by. I don't. First, when I said Kasatkina is by, and she's similar. You know, I hate to say that, but that came into my mind when I watched Iga. I said, could it be that maybe she is, but maybe not? I don't know. You know, she is kind of boyish. Nothing wrong with that.
So is Maresma.
She had a child. Nothing wrong with that. That is your personal life. I don't give a crap about that.
Who cares?
I love Martina Navratilova. Just saying.
Who cares? Remember the acronym.
It doesn't matter, but that might be a good thing for Swiatek. The fact that she's a little boyish, it will keep her away from being enticed to go on Instagram, to do all these shoots and forget about tennis. To be the best, you must want to be out there and want to just conquer. Serena, I'm sure, hits herself in the head for stopping a few years. Remember when she was getting into the same stuff?
Exactly.
She could have had more slams. She stopped.
Yeah.
She missed quite a few years because she wanted to be.
She was hooking up with the rappers.
She wanted to be famous.
Was she dating Common?
Yeah.
And let's we not forget, she started dating her own coach, Patrick Ratzinger.
Who cares? Justin, who cares?
But I'm saying there was a distraction.
Why do you give that? It was a distraction. She was winning.
Because
she was winning at that time.
Okay.
He was tapping it good.
Oh, damn.
I'm just saying. She was winning. That was not a distraction. That was actually a good thing for her.
Okay.
I'm talking about before she met him.
Interesting take right there.
I just say you keep bringing that up. Who cares?
It's true. Do you think Serena and Patrick Moratiglu, when they dated and they were walking down the street with their hands in each other's back pockets?
Why do you care so much?
But I don't. But what I'm saying is, you don't think that hampered at least the coach, the student? It's like me going to.
No, he didn't coach her anyway.
Oh, I thought he was coaching her. What are you telling me? He didn't coach her. He coached her for like 10 years.
There's no way, Patrick. He might be talked to her and gave her like a good positive speech.
He gave her a good positive something. I'm just saying.
He gave her a good positive something.
That's right.
She was winning with him.
That's right.
Just saying. All right.
Okay. Anyway, Swiatek is just that much better than everybody else right now. And yes, I do think the list of top 10 players that you guys came up with, Carla, is much better than the current one that we have right now on paper. You understand what I'm saying?
First, when I said Mouratoglou got left Coco, and she got better, and Halep got a panic attack while facing a junior.
Very true. Don't forget about Raducanu, who had a panic attack last year at Wimbledon or the year before.
Alex Ria said it helped Serena.
Yeah.
She got the Frenchie.
It did. She was
doing good.
Yeah.
But then she got married to, a not so good looking dude. And, well.
He's like the Reddit founder, Alex Ohanian.
You know what he reminds me of?
He's not a hot guy.
Let me tell you what he reminds me of.
Keanu Reeves, but fat. Keanu Reeves.
No. Have you guys seen X-Men? The first X-Men, when the senator talks bad about the mutants, and they put the senator, the bad mutants, put him like, I don't know, they did something to him, and he comes out of the water and mutates. He looks like the senator.
Okay. Yin Hao Kur has to know this.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen any of those.
Okay, I'm gonna show you the picture. Go ahead, talk.
And this is supposed to look like who? Alex Ohanian?
Yes, definitely.
By the way, Coco Gauff, but Iga Swiatek, with her win today in the women's final, tied Venus Williams with the longest consecutive win streak, right? There's been longer, but in terms of the current, Venus Williams had 35 match wins in a row, and so does now Swiatek. That's a lot of matches in a row. 35 opponents in a row, and you win them all. Everyone can have a bad day at the office. Okay, you can't tell me that out of those 35 matches, there's not one player in there that played at the top 10 level, right? There were some good matches in there, some good players in there, and she systematically went through them. Zhang gave her a fit though. Watch out for Zhang. You got it?
Yeah, I'm trying to find this character because that's exactly who he looks like. He was a senator. He came out of the water. He was a pale guy. Came out of the water, looked just like him.
Okay, I'm going forward to the next topic.
Go.
Okay. Carla and I were talking today when we were driving to Mobile to go teach this morning, and we were talking about some of the players like Swiatek, players like Nadal and Federer, and some of the other greatest players of all time. Rod Laver, Bill Tillman, Don Budge, the list goes on. We were talking about the difference between one player or one of the great players and a not so maybe elite player. The question that Carla and I were kind of talking about is, do you have to go overboard as a coach or parent to create a GOAT? Okay. So in other words, do I really have to be an asshole? Do I really can't give you any freedoms and I got to yell at you or get in your face? Do I have to go overboard with discipline to raise a champion? Okay. Or is the champion just born and you just have to maneuver the pieces in place biologically and psychologically and morph the champion into place? So what I'm asking you is do you think, say Swiatek in this case, because that's why we were talking about it, why is she so much better than everybody else right now? I mean, she is night and day. It's not really even comparable. And that the proof is in the storylines of the matches, okay, except that first set versus Shane. So we ask ourselves, did her team or her parents, did they go overboard to create this champion? Last night we watched a movie, Carla. It was called Whiplash. Okay, it was a movie's called Whiplash, and we're not movie critics, and very rarely do we have time to sit and watch a movie. We're usually asleep because we've been on the court 12 hours a day in the 90-degree heat. But last night we were watching this movie and it was called Whiplash, and it was about a conductor of a symphony or orchestra or whatever. And there was a drummer that was trying his best to find first chair, in other words, starting position on this orchestra. And anyway, long story short, is he went through hell and high water, only to have the guy give him a head nod at the end. Like, okay, you finally made it. Do you have to go overboard as a parent, as a coach, to create a champion? Now, I do want to take a step away from tennis and talk about my two oldest boys of five of them. Our two oldest boys.
Let's go back to Whiplash.
Okay, look. Oh, hold on. Let me finish the statement. I'm going to open it up for you. I finish it with this. Our two oldest boys, Jonathan, who is 20, and he is going into his junior year at the Air Force Academy in Colorado. Our next oldest son, Christopher, leaves in 18 days to go join him to become a freshman, or what do they call it, a dually or something. And the next three already want to go, and we're already pushing ACTs and test preparations and throughout the summer flashcards, and we have flashcards out for them spelling at the courts today. We have done that by being extremely tough, and I'm not meaning physical tough, or we don't do that, but we have been in their face. They have absolutely zero freedoms unless they bring home straight A's, unless they are absolutely perfect in conduct and play tennis when we ask them to do so, and then work hard when we ask them to do so, which is nearly every day during the summer, and less days than before because we work now an hour away and not a block away. But we went overboard, I would say, because we meet people all the time with multiple kids, and there's no push already at 6 and 7, 8 years old to start studying the ACT. I'm already telling Justin Jr. to start studying for the ACT, and he's 6. So I think we take it overboard compared to most, and so far it's paid off. Do you think it's necessary to go overboard to create a champion, a GOAT, or a damn quality kid?
I don't think it worked with us. I think it backfired on our parents. I mean, you got mad at me the other day because I was training Gabby and Justin, because I feel like sometimes we're so soft on them. We're not tough like we were on the older ones. And you said, stop yelling at them because you're going to make them hate it.
Well,
so obviously you thought I was going overboard. Yet we know to make a champion, I'm sure Djokovic, his coaches were not sugarcoating everything on him.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, I started doing what American coaches did. I didn't say anything to you, and I said, okay, good.
Just chilling out.
But I don't feel that's how you should teach. You said I don't do that with students. No shit, they would fire me.
I've never heard you say this. So can you, just to clarify, you just made a statement. What American coaches do? I'm American. What do American coaches do?
Nice shot. Very good. Awesome. Oh, that was great. So I had to do that because I didn't want you to get pissed with me.
Yeah, no, I wasn't. You were just continuing.
You have to. There's a reason why international kids are beating the American kids in studies, in sports, because that's how they're raised. Yet, we think it's going overboard, and you're like, oh my God, you're killing the kid. No, you're not. You're making them tougher. It backfired on our dads because they took it way overboard by physically throwing stuff at us. And I don't do that. I just yell.
Vocal.
Yes, you do need to be a little overboard if you want to be a champion. There's no way that you'll ever be a champion by saying, that's okay. No problem. You'll do better next time. No way, Justin. And that's the problem with American tennis.
Agreed.
Just saying.
I agree totally. Now, do you think there's any truth to the axiom that champions aren't just born, they're bred? Or do you think that true champions are just born? It's destiny. It's predetermined. When Michael Jordan was born, he was born to be a champion, or did he have to work at it? Did he have to practice?
He had to work at it because obviously they didn't believe in him in the beginning. And I agree with your comment. You can't push and train kids at least at some point to realize they want to do it. But you can push them to realize that they could be good. You could push him. I'm not saying make him hate it, but you could push him because look, my daughter last year, she believed she could not win a match, right? She believed she could not win a match, right? You remember her first high school match?
Bad.
She thought that she sucked. And then all of a sudden something
whipped her ass.
Something clicked.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to push them to the point where, you know what? They start seeing some results, and then they're like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I believe in myself. I actually can do this. Do you think Celis was Celis because her dad was cool? Or because her coaches didn't yell? Novak, who you guys glorify as a god, do you think that he's good because everybody told him it's okay? It's okay, Djokovic. You miss? It's okay. I guarantee you his dad whooped his ass. I guarantee you that.
So it probably vibes that?
Come on, man. Let's wake up and smell the coffee. Are you serious? You can't create champions by pampering them. I'm sure the movie Serena and Venus, I'm sure they didn't show their dad throwing rackets at them. I'm positive he did.
Mm-hmm.
Positive he did.
Agree
That's
totally.
how you create champions. Just saying.
Yeah, agree totally. I think there has to be some level of consistent discipline. I'm not saying you have to go overboard, but I think
not to beating up your kids. But you gotta push them. You gotta push them. Skaters get pushed. Gymnasts get pushed. Why were the Russians and or the Czechs and all? Why are they the best? Not Czechs. There's an Russians, Chinese. And there's a reason why they're the best.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I couldn't disagree with one thing you said. It's absolutely correct. We talked about this before. You do have to be, but the sad thing is that these days, one thinks that we're going overboard, but yet we're just like families always used to be, always with your kids, always cooking, always saying a blessing at dinner, always being thankful, always together. But now it seems abnormal if you don't have a family of people sitting in the same room and all of them are on their telephones and not even talking to one another. We have a rule. We're sitting down, no phones. Well, by the way, none of our kids have phones. Carla and I have one, and then my oldest son that's going to the Air Force Academy has one, but he got one when he won his first 18 and under tournament this past summer. So he just got it. We have always been tight knit. We have always been bring your work home. I want to see it. I want my dad to see it. Anyway, and it's paid off. So if you think we went overboard, so be it. But we have definitely been in your face. You better not bring home a B in school. You better damn not try your best on the court. And then the gentleman, Thomas, he left a comment just a second ago. Thomas Adaminsky, I think it was. And he said something like, at some point, they have to want to do it. You're damn right. You're damn right. That it's our 13-year-old daughter, Lily, we started when she was 6. Okay. If throughout those 7 years that she's been playing, she would have never pouted one time, do you know she would be Coco Gauff by now? Because she's that strong like Carla. She's built that well. She's super strong. She's super fast. She's super smart. But she damn pouts all the time. And what does that do? She'll go out to the court and she'll start to train for like 3 balls. First ball, hey, let's warm up, Lily. Okay, here's the ball, feet in the net. Second ball, feet, hits it long. I mean, second ball. I'm talking.
And that's okay.
And then she starts pouting.
But that's okay. So, but what I tell her is, well, you're gonna pout the whole summer, and eventually it's gonna click, just like my dad did to me. It's gonna click, and you're gonna realize that, hey, I can win, and then you're gonna like it when you start winning. But it's gonna suck for any kid, for any parents out there that have kids in sports. You want your kids to be good at sports. They're gonna hate it. They're gonna think it sucks.
And yeah, you don't want that.
They're going to think it sucks. But they will reach a point if they keep going with it that they realize that they could actually be good at it. School sucks. That's factual. School sucks. You got to study hard.
It's called laziness.
But once you get through that, it becomes easier. Just saying.
Yeah. It builds confidence.
If it was easy and it's supposed to be pleasurable, then everybody would do it. Just saying.
Yeah. When one starts doing well, they get a little bit of somehow jeers and applause from others. So like, let's say you're in elementary school and you make an A on your test while the teacher's handing out the test. Why do teachers even score tests anyway and hand them out vocally? Because the ones that don't do so well get to see the ones doing so well getting applauded for making that. So it makes the others that didn't do so well want to do better. Okay. Now sometimes these days now, if someone does better, they just go in and have some mass shooting somewhere, which is insanity. You won't get into that. But it's there for that kind of push. You know, here's the A students, here's magna cum laude, here's summa cum laude, here's the top 3 in the class. How many doors have opened for Jonathan, our oldest son, and Christopher, our next oldest son, and all the rest of them moving forward because they've been so stellar in school? Mm-hmm. They're always getting invited to the spelling bee. They're always getting invited to this. They're always getting if they don't do well, the doors open and networks occur, right? Anyway, it's not. I don't think you have to go overboard, but I think you have to be tougher than most people are these days. Okay. It's a tough world out there, and if you're not confident and assertive and professional and humble and being kind, because everyone you meet is fighting a tough battle, I can assure you the blender world that we live in is going to whip you up into cream and spit you out down the road. Okay, life is a mother. You know what out there? It's rough. Look, I was a child of the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Okay, even in the 90s, life was much more copacetic. I mean, we were riding out, windows down, chilling. But now, man, it's crazy out there. I feel sorry for our children. And by the way, think about something that's freaking just lunacy. Did you guys see that the lady come down to Philippe Chatrier during, what was it, the Ruud and Cilic match or something, where she glued her damn hand to the net? She went down there to protest climate change. Again, not getting into geopolitics. But she came down on center court and she had a shirt on. And their shirt read, 1,028 days is all we have left. Does anyone know what she was referencing about? What 1,028 days to what? Do you finally get your hand unglued from the post? Oh, well, what are we waiting for? Can I find this picture? Let me find it. But did you read about this?
Mm-hmm. The net person, the one
that glued herself to the net.
First of all, how did she even get to that position?
Yeah.
Which explains to you that you guys are not doing a good job, French Open. You're not doing a good job. Because how did she get through there to glue herself to the net?
Do you guys remember when Monica Seles had a disastrous accident, which arguably cost her career?
Well, that's what we're talking about. Carol saying that she's better than Serena. I disagree with her. I was telling him her technique, forehand and backhand, was just hit the ball. Hit the damn ball. There was no technique. Just hit the ball and hit the ball and hit the ball. And that's it.
That's girl.
Crazy.
This is the girl that glued herself to the net. I'm giving her PR already. This is why she did it. So I'm giving her views, even though we shouldn't, because that's what makes people do these things. But it says we have 1,028 days left to what? Like, are we going to have an apocalyptic hurricane?
Stupidity.
Like, what is it? Is it like we have 1,028 days left till Rafa Nadal never wins another French Open? Like, what is it? Can you fill in the blank there? We have 1,028 days left until Carl and I finally take a vacation. Before Mount Vesuvius erupts. What is it? I don't know.
She was a climate change.
But I get it. I get she was climate change. But what I'm saying is she had on her shirt 1,028 days left. What does that mean? Left until what? It's like a fragmented sentence. It's not a complete question. 1,028 days left until what? I would love to know the answer to that question. Serena Williams and Venus Williams were not on the 2022 Wimbledon list for this year's Wimbledon tournament. We do know that the ATP and WTA has removed and withdrawn all awardable points for any players that play it because Wimbledon, the tournament, denied application to those from Belarus or from Russia. Okay. Not beating a dead horse with that, nor are we going to get into geopolitics. It should remain separate. But with that said, any reason to lose sleep or to now not want to watch Wimbledon because Serena Williams and Venus aren't there? Or do we all agree upon that even if they were there, they wouldn't really be a threat to anyone?
They wouldn't be a threat, not on clay.
No, we're talking Wimbledon grass.
Oh, I think that they could. Not Venus. Venus is done. I think Serena, if she were in shape, if she could move, if she could serve the way she usually serves, she could get past, squeak through the first week. Squeak. This the way women's tennis is right now. Squeak through it.
Remember what we just said. Iga Swiatek just tied Venus Williams for
Serena.
No, she tied Venus.
Oh, now she passed Serena.
So we said this earlier. Swiatek is now 35 matches in a row, and Venus Williams at one point had a streak that big. So during that list of players, Navratilova has many more than that. But what I'm saying is she's inching up track. Anyway, I don't think that Serena nor Venus would have been a threat to anyone. Both of them.
Are they not really playing? Is it even official? I don't think it's official.
It might be just drama.
We're already an hour in.
Yeah, we're getting to the end.
You read that? Didn't you read that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I read Leandro's. Thank you for the comment. We read Swiatek's draw. Okay. And we're going to get through this quickly, but this is one of the last couple of segments. And this one is Rafael Nadal's betting odds to win this French Open. Rafael Nadal is minus 560. And let me explain what this means in case you don't follow it. You would have to, if you bet on Rafael Nadal to win, and you wanted to win $100, okay, you would have to go to your bookie or to the casino or online, whatever you do, and you would have to go ahead and charge $560 to your credit card. And if Nadal wins, you get your $560 back and you get $100 extra bucks. However, if you lose that bet, you will lose $560 plus the juice that goes to the bookie, which is 10%. So you're going to lose $560 plus $56, $516, whatever, or $616. So if you lose on a bet to win $100 for Rafael Nadal, you'll lose $616. Would you take that bet? Do you take Rafael Nadal to the point where you would risk $616 for him to simply win a one tennis match? Would you? Are you that confident? This almost seems like a snooker bet. Because I've never seen odds this big, correct me if I'm wrong, in tennis.
I wouldn't even bet.
I've never seen it. Never seen it.
I know he's going to win, but I wouldn't bet.
It's a sucker bet.
I wouldn't bet $100, $560 just to win $100.
That's a sucker bet.
That's not even worth it. Not even worth. That's not even enticing to win.
It's a sucker bet. Be careful here.
Because if you bet 1,000 and something, you get 200.
Yeah, just add it up exponentially.
Yeah,
you want to win 200, you got to bet 1,120.
Bet 560 million to win 100 million. Yeah, that's just not exactly. That's not enticing at all.
Dread Tennis, thank you for that. Yeah,
it's just not that. You would have to be stupid to do that.
He put it into perspective.
That's chump change. If you
Can I get something else, son?
No, you can wait, son.
Yeah, we're almost done, buddy.
Thank you, baby.
But think about that, and yeah, Dread Tennis, perfect way to kind of expand the horizons on numbers. Numbers are interesting, but bet 560 million to win 100 million. Exactly. Does this seem a little odd? Does this sound like maybe Nadal might throw the fight? Do you think Nadal's going to throw the fight?
No, obviously not. 14 B2 ahead of Novak.
Do you, with odds like that?
No, they just don't want to give the money.
I'm thinking theatrics to that.
Get some scratch of lottery ticket.
Be careful.
Yeah,
no, Be careful.
It's going to be a quick final, babe.
Because of that thought process is why those odds are there. So what I'm saying is be careful with that. Maybe Rafael ends up hurt and he can't play. So he doesn't have to take the shame of losing to Ruud.
Okay.
Be careful.
Right.
Be careful with those odds.
Don't bet. Don't be
Also, another way you can bet on tennis is the game spread. So in football, American football is, say the 49ers, that's my team, is favored to win by 3 points. Then they have to beat the team by more than 3 points in order to win the bet. In tennis, it's a little bit different. The player has to win over the other player by a certain amount of games. So Rafael Nadal is minus 6.5 games, meaning this is 3 out of 5 sets, right? 3 out of 5 sets. So Rafael Nadal would need to beat Casper Ruud by over 6.5, meaning 7 games, right? So the score at minimum would have to be 6-3, 6-4, 6-4 to win that bet. Now you could take the bet plus 6.5, and Casper Ruud could lose by as many games as he wanted, or even still lose but not quite cover it, and you could still win. So do you think, all of you and Carla, okay, do you think Rafael Nadal will beat Casper Ruud worse than 6-3, 6-4, 6-4?
No.
So you think Casper Ruud will have a better match than losing 3-4 and 4?
It'll be about that.
If you had to bet on it, which one would you take? Would you take Casper Ruud to play a little bit better than 3-4 or worse?
A little better than that.
Okay, so Carla's taking a hypothetical bet. She's not betting, but Carla thinks that she would if she could. That's a good Fish song. If I could, I would. But Carla thinks that if she could, she would bet on Casper Ruud plus 6.5, meaning that Casper Ruud can still lose the match entirely, but Casper Ruud will do better than losing 3-6, 4-6, 4-6. If Casper Ruud loses something like 6-7, 4-6, 5-7, Carla wins even though he lost. Do you agree with her bet or not? Does Casper Ruud do better than losing 3-6, 4-6, 4-6? I think so too. I think he does better and maybe even get a set.
Hopefully, right? Make it more competitive.
Does Nadal win in straight sets?
He could.
That's another bet.
I don't want to bet. Anyways, I do want to.
All right. Last two things. John McEnroe, as we all know, one of the biggest buffoons and idiots to ever play the game. Hell of a player, but court conduct, gentlemanship, just bullshit. Awful to see play. Really entertaining to watch. But when you think about it, he's just an asshole. John McEnroe stated this after the Iga Swiatek match today, and I quote, this was on the Tennis Channel, or NBC, I think was what you're watching it. He says, yeah, we're seeing the changing of the guard. Okay, talking about Swiatek. Now, the same John McEnroe is the same damn person that I heard as the changing of the guard when it came to Kyrgios and TM and Zverev and the next gen and Yannick Sinner and Felix Auger. Okay, next gen on these nuts sucks whack. Okay, here we are where we got the next gen coming in that's doing better, right? Anyway, back to what McEnroe said about Swiatek, changing of the guard. Is Swiatek and Coco Gauff, now he was referring to changing of the guard being both the girls, Swiatek and Coco Gauff. Hey, here these two are, one's 21, one's 18. You know, it's the future and the changing of the guard in tennis. My couple questions based upon his statement are this. What guard are those two women changing? Is it Serena? She's been gone. What guard is being changed, number one? And number two, is this just the same type of little hot streak that some of these young players go on only to get dismantled when someone else young comes around and starts popping off victories like Carlos Alcaraz? Okay, is this different than the likes of Zverev and TM and Felix Auger-Aliassime and Kyrgios? Is this different? In other words, are these girls better, metaphorically speaking, than the boys were in their next gen phase? Is this just a couple of girls that are they different? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Justin is tearing McEnroe. You don't like McEnroe.
Is it different? Are Coco Gauff and Swiatek the future of the game? But
I thought they've been the future.
Well, everyone used to say that about Zverev and Tiafoe and everybody else. Where they at?
The women's is different. We haven't had really anybody. Everybody's pretty much gone in the women's. Just saying.
Crazy, man. Crazy. Anyway, last two things I got and we're done.
My God, my husband writes way too much.
Actually, I think I got it. So
thank you.
The last thing though, Amelie Mauresmo, we talked about her statement about women's tennis is boring, men's tennis is better. After the women's final today, and we'll leave this with that. Can you put a poll question to close it? We'll check them later. After Swiatek dismantled Coco Gauff, did Mauresmo justify her statement based upon the 1 hour flat final? After it was such a bad beating in the final, was Amelie Mauresmo right after having watched the final today? Is there one and everyone else, or what? Was Amelie Mauresmo correct for saying that? Okay, let's go. Come on, Ric Flair. Woo!
Cool. Yes, she was right.
Adios, man. Take care.
She was right.
Peace. We'll see you tomorrow after the final. Let's go. Tomorrow's our off day, so it's going to be a bomb show. Don't forget, for Wimbledon, $600.
No big star on women's tennis. Exactly.
$600.
So far, yes, 100%. Yes.
Yeah. The $500 pot that no one won for the French Open, we are rolling it to Wimbledon. It's going to add $100 to it. So whoever can predict, if anybody doesn't, we'll roll it over to the U.S. Open. It'll be $700. But if you can predict the men's final, women's final, and both winners,
votes. Yes, so far.
Let's go. Make sure to subscribe. If you're subscribed, you're automatically in. That's it.
Marisma was right. 8 votes, yes. Yep.